Are you wondering if support garments actually help with conditions like pelvic organ prolapse, vulvar varicosities, or postpartum recovery? This is a question that we get a lot, and I'm really excited to answer in this video. There's a lot of information out there about pelvic health solutions, and it can feel confusing and overwhelming. For many of us, we didn't even know about these conditions before we were personally impacted by them, and let alone what options there are to help support us and to mitigate the symptoms that we're experiencing. So today I'm going to walk you through one powerful option of many that exist, and that is external support garments and what they can do to help mitigate your symptoms for conditions like I mentioned, pelvic organ prolapse, vulvar varicosities, or to help your body through transformative experiences like postpartum recovery or going through menopause. By the end of this video, you'll know what support garments can do, who they're right for, and how to choose one that best fits your life. So with that, we'll jump right in. The first thing I'd like to cover is what is their purpose and what conditions do they support? So garments like this, they provide gentle support and uplifting feeling. Hems in particular has a support hammock that lifts on the perineum and provides that counter pressure. So if you imagine like you sprain your ankle and you wear an ankle brace and you have that counter pressure, that's what's going to help mitigate those symptoms from things like prolapse, or you have that heaviness or that falling out feeling. Having that external support, what it does is it helps cue those internal pelvic floor muscles. So you can think of if you are one of those people who have a pelvic floor that maybe is on the weaker side or doesn't always turn on and activate like it should, that garment provides that cue to say, hey, turn on, we're here, let's work together. Whereas if you're the opposite of that and your pelvic floor tends to be on the more tense side or doesn't know how to relax as easily, the garment can be that cradle that cues your pelvic floor, hey, we've got you. We're providing that external support, and so those muscles can relax and not always be in that turned on mode. So knowing that, you can look to a thing like external support because it can help while you're doing various activities to gently support that pelvic floor and then your abdominal muscles, all of that's very interconnected. It can just be that extra layer of support to help you go through your day. It can also do things like help relieve pressure, swelling, and then that falling out sensation. So these can occur if you have a condition like prolapse. Some of this can occur just in general postpartum while your body, regardless of whether you have a C-section or a vaginal delivery, a garment like this can help because your body has undergone so much, and it again can just be that extra layer of helping those muscles while they are working to get back to their more normal and not pregnancy state. It can help conditions like vulvar varicosities because it can improve circulation and then reduce some of those sensations that come from that pain, that discomfort. And so it can just help make sure that that blood's flowing. And again, that counter pressure is what's going to enable all of that to happen. And then again, it aids that postpartum recovery because it can help stabilize those muscles and promote that functional movement. Now, with all of these, you want to be careful that you don't, do too much too soon. Make sure that you're listening to your body, working with your healthcare professional. But external support can be an amazing tool to help mitigate those symptoms and get you back to doing what you love to do or what you maybe never even thought possible after you learned of your diagnosis. What they are not is they do not cure whatever it is that you are experiencing. Or if you're thinking, oh, I should go to pelvic floor PT or get an external support garment, we really like to encourage, if you have access, to make all of these part of your pelvic health toolkit because they really work in conjunction with one another. And this really helps us really have different options to turn to depending on what we're dealing with at each stage of life. So another key thing is that fits are different across different bodies and different life stages. So garments might work differently if you are a postpartum body or you're perimenopausal or postmenopausal or post-surgery support. This can be another great option, but you want to think about what is going on with my body and therefore which type of garment might fit me best. Do you need a higher waist? Do you need more support or less support? Or maybe you need a lower waist. or you would like leggings versus shorts or underwear. Each of these has different pros and cons and can meet you at different stages. And if you have any questions about that, please drop them in the comments. We are happy to help, and we would love to answer any questions that you have. And another key thing there is that as you look at the comment section, we have a link where you can subscribe to our email list. You would get $10 off your first order. And we also have an amazing symptom tracker that can really help you tune in to what's going on day to day, so that as you're considering which type of garment might provide the best support, you have a good idea of what are those types of symptoms that you're looking to mitigate. Now, as we think about choosing then that right product for your specific concern, some of the things that we want to think about are, one, matching that support type to your symptom type. So like I said, if you have pelvic organ prolapse, you're going to look for that lower abdominal support and pelvic lift. So a garment like this has this internal support hammock that provides that lift to your perineum and the external part of your pelvic floor and does all those things that we talk about. That's really important if prolapse is something that you are mitigating, because it can again serve that ankle brace effect. If you have something like vulvar varicosities, we want that targeted compression without that, and the key is don't let it cut off your circulation, because that's going to really help mitigate your symptoms. The nice thing with a garment like this one is that it can do double duty and do both. If you are postpartum, you're going to want something that potentially can come higher up. If you've had a C-section, you want it to be comfortable on that scar. One key thing is that it's not too restricting. You want to be sure that you can move and then breathe freely. That's true for all of these conditions. You do not want it to be too tight. And that's why we have to be careful. Sometimes people will turn to things like shapewear, and they do not serve the same purpose. So just be very mindful of that. You also want to consider daily life factors. Do you move a lot? Do you sit? What type of clothing is important? Do you wear dresses, leggings, shorts, pants, different colors? And then your climate is, you need something breathable. Do the fabrics matter? And then that's where you can look across the spectrum of external support options and see some are underwear, some are leggings, some are sport shorts, some are more of like a brace where you wear them over underwear and then underneath clothing. So there's a wide range out there. Again, check out the comments. If you have questions, please let us know, because we know of most of the brands that exist and we are happy to help point you in the right direction. Our biggest goal is making sure that women find the support that they need. Another key thing here is once you then find the right option, that you think is going to work best, is to be willing to do some trial and error and look for brands that will support returns and exchanges, because it can be hard to get the right fit on the first time. And we also really want to set realistic expectations that this support may not be instant. Some people who put this on, they may feel support right away. Whereas for others, it might take a day or two for your body to really tune in to the support that it's getting. And a lot of times if you put the garment on first thing in the morning, that can really help versus waiting until later in the day when you may be more symptomatic. Or if you're postpartum, you're starting early in those early weeks and then having it throughout your early postpartum phase can be really helpful. You might also need to adjust this over time. Like, your body's not broken, it just changes. And so your support needs may change. And just being tuned into that and open to that can be really helpful. Another is that fit and consistency are key. So if you think about like a good fitting bra or an orthotic, you really want to make sure that it's fitting you properly and then that you wear it consistently. Otherwise, it's not going to do what it needs to do. So don't settle for something that's uncomfortable or not meeting you where you need to be, because you really deserve to feel supported, confident, and comfortable when you're wearing these external support garments. Another key here is that, like I mentioned earlier, this is really part of that broader toolkit. So you might use external support, but you might also use internal support, like a pessary. You want to see a pelvic floor PT if that's an option, or your urogynecologist. We just want to make sure that we are keeping a broad range of options, because as our symptoms change, as our bodies change, as research and product development changes, we just want to be making sure that we are having options so that we don't get stuck with one path and then be limited when we want to do other things and that is no longer serving our needs. A really big piece of this is just to share that you really, unfortunately, sometimes do have to advocate for yourself more often than you would like to. And then that's okay. I mean, we just have to meet everything with where it is. So knowing what's going on with your body, again, we have that symptom tracker. You can get it at the link in the comments. Knowing what support options exist. If you'd like a list of options, let us know. That's something that we could put together. And just realizing that you're not failing and that your body isn't failing, but that it just unfortunately takes more work right now than it should for us to understand, 1, what's going on, 2, what our options are, and then 3, finding the best one that's going to work for us in our unique situation. So with all of that in mind, I really hope that this has helped you learn more about an important pelvic support option, the external support garment, and helped you understand whether they might be a good fit for you and what to look for to get the best one for your unique situation. If you're exploring support garments and you want to better understand your own symptoms, download our free Pelvic Health Symptom Tracker. This can be a great tool to get clarity on what's going on with your body. You'll also get $10 off your first order with Hem Supportwear when you sign up. So be sure to download that tracker at the link below. Let us know if you have questions on anything that we talked about. We would love to talk with you and see if there's anything that we can clarify or additional information we can help pull together. And just know that your symptoms are real. I've been in a very similar situation if it's pelvic organ prolapse you're dealing with, and I know how hard it can be to have to advocate for yourself and to get the right support. So please know we're here for you. There are support options that will help you get back to feeling like yourself. Drop us a comment if you like the video or if you want to see something else, and we will see you in the next video.